within this presentation, we are going to go through a couple items. The first item we're going to go through is why are we going to prepare a marketing plan? Of course, for the accounting people, sometimes they think that marketing is not really necessary, but for a business standpoint, marketing is actually quite important when you're starting out a business. We're going to also go through how much should you budget for your small business. In terms of key part is to conduct your marketing research, your marketing analysis from there. After going through the market analysis, we're going to kind of take a look at the marketing strategy and what are the activity going to help you achieve the marketing strategy that you have planned. And the last part we're going to talk about with marketing, you're going to have to look at what you plan and kind of evaluate what you did and see whether or not those marketing strategy was effective and kind of go back and adjust it from there. So the first part, why do we want to prepare a marketing plan, right? Marketing plan is kind of keep your business on track, keep your business organizing your thoughts in terms of how you're going to achieve all those mission statements that you have at the beginning of your business plan. It also kind of align what you're offering and your marketing strategy and a different couple of things, aligning that with your mission statement, okay? So business probably should kind of go through your mission statement and make sure that everything that you do is in line with that. Marketing plan should be an ongoing tools that help you guys to complete for customer in the marketplace. Think about this, marketing is not an expense, it is an investment that helps you to get the customer to come to you. So you should kind of take some time to think about what kind of marketing strategy you should do to help you achieve the goal, the sales goal, or the revenue that you are trying to project. Definitely, it also, prevent you from duplicating effort when you are doing your marketing activity. And of course, as a startup business, cash flow is very important. It actually helps you run your business. If you're wasting your money on things that is not going to help you achieve your revenue, now you're wasting your cash flow on something that is not going to be effective in terms of carrying your operation. So definitely having a marketing plan helps you organize your thoughts. So how much should you budget for marketing? Of course, depending what kind of business you're going to be. Startup or established business may be different. As a startup business, you should be probably spending a little bit more, right? But if you're established business that is going to launch a new product line, definitely you should dedicate more marketing resources to for your marketing. And then also depending on your market size and your market position, right? If you're a startup business, it is going to need to spend a little bit more to get to where you want to be. So when you're doing your business plan, you should have business goal that you wanted to achieve. That would mean that, if you want to be here in your market position, this marketing plan should help you and guide you to get you there, okay? Another factor that would affect your marketing, how you budget for marketing, would be the type of industry. For example, if you are in a finance industry, right? If you're competing to give out loan to different borrower, and then also there's other banks or credit union locally that are here targeting the same customer, you want to be spending more marketing budget to get those customers come to you. It is a very competitive market within the finance industry. So you do really want to make something special and kind of think of something that is unique. If you notice with the banks, right, what they usually normal offer that kind of make them special. that would be what? The interest rate, right? If you notice, they always market the interest rate, how low can they go, or the fees. So you would do the same. Whatever make you special, you would be spending that, focusing on marketing on that competitive advantage that you have. And other factor that you should think about when you're doing budget marketing, definitely I mentioned earlier, is whether you have your new product. If you're creating your present, right? If you're creating the demand, you need to be putting more resources to your marketing. You wouldn't probably spend as much if you're just promoting an existing product, but if you have a new product and you need to sell it, you need to get it out there, definitely spend more on it. And again, that's all depending on your goal strategy, right? What is your strategic plan? If you focus on an aggressive growth strategy, you would probably spend more than you want if you compare to maintaining your market share.
How does the size of your target market impact?
So the size of your market kind of, you have to look at exactly what your target customer. So if your offering to your target customer is very narrow, then your marketing budget would be very limited. And as a business standpoint, right, do you want to be offering that specifically, or do you want to be offering more generally to include more customer within your targeting group? So you should not just have one targeted group, you should have multiple, so that you are not too specific. And once those customers, depending on the product and services that you are selling, if you only selling this specific group and the number of customers run out, where are you gonna go find more customer? So your strategy should be keep changing, keep revising according to what the industry, according to what other product can you offer from there. One good example is computer industry, right? A lot of computer store, they just sell computer. Looking at this, thinking about this, one thing that you might want to offer, if everybody already buy a computer on this island, one thing that you might want to do may be teaching lessons, how to use certain program, go into other services relating to that product, so that will kind of enhance your market size from there. Other approaches to budgeting for marketing. So you can think of a lifetime approach as well. So use the same example that I use, financial institution. If you notice, a lot of them, because the competitor is, there's a lot of competitor in the market, they have to kind of look at each specific, they expand it depending what they're offering, they're doing, right? Think about this. So at an early age, you probably most likely wanting to get a savings, right? A checking account. As you go older, you want to get a loan to start your credit. Then when you're starting your family, you wanted to get a mortgage loan. So think of it that way, so that's what lifetime value of customer approach. As you want to establish that long-lasting relationship with your customers, so that you can, sell more, promote more, and do different things with your customer. The other approach is just simply goal-driven approach. Just simply identify, measure, and goal. Something simple, maybe I want to get 50 clients in year 2. I want to get an additional 25 clients in year 3. Then you kind of adjust your marketing budget according to how aggressive your goal-driven approach is. Of course, if you're goal-driven, you're only expecting a 5%, then your marketing budget should be not as aggressive if you are looking for a 10% growth. So as a small business, what is the standard from there? So as we talk about, advertising pretty much is an expense, right? A lot of times for small startup business, they target 10 to 20% of their net sales. We know about common size statement, right? You learned that in your accounting, right? Yes. Bring out your accounting book, because with this business plan, you're gonna be needing that, okay? So that would be, you kind of budget based on what your projected sales. You would dedicate 10 to 20% if you're a startup. So if you're established business, you're looking at 5 to 10%. Again, as I say, right, it depending on what kind of product you're selling, depending what kind of industry you're in. This is a standard, situation could be different. So you need to adjust it, tailor to your business, okay? So what's below the line? These are the marketing activity that you can do without spending additional money. Some of the activity could be including coastal cleanup, right? Your staff just volunteering to go to the beach and clean up. Another way to do this below the line item, right, could be also junior achievement, right? Dedicating staff time to help out high school students. Another way would be maybe participating in the different trade association, the Guam Chamber, the Rotary Club, to help out with different events, right? That is sales, might not cost you additionally, but it's, you know, you're paying for the employee already. Now they can dedicate, kind of, you know, sell your brand, kind of promote your business when they are out there doing what they're doing. So this would be something that, you know, if you have a limited budget, this would be something that is good to use, okay? So these are the marketing plan foundation terms, right? Of course, the same thing with your business plan. You're gonna have your objective, your strategy, your action step, and your tactics, right? Each layer is, the objective is pretty much what is the overall goal you're trying to do. So maybe say, I wanna get 10 customers within the first 2 months of the business. Then what kind of strategy are you gonna do to achieve that goal, right? Then it goes down to what exactly the action step. How are you gonna get those 10 customers coming into your business? Good? Okay. Okay. Some of the things that you're gonna have to remember when you are doing this, when you're setting your objectives and goals, make sure it's always measurable. Okay, you need to be able to measurable to kind of go back and take a look at your plan and see whether or not your plan is effective. So keep that in mind, and then also find out who needs your products and services and kind of develop that strategic marketing plan to reach them, right? And then we talk about that, taking consideration of the current size and the growth potential of your target market. The market looks good now, it might not look good later, so you have to consider future factors as well, not just current economic factors that affect your business. And then developing your marketing plan to capture that certain percentage, what you have right now, or maybe future potential customers, okay? So there's different market analysis you're gonna have to do when you're doing your market research, right? Those are the SWOT analysis. Is kind of, you learned that before, right? In your management class. Environmental analysis, competitive analysis, kind of talk about your competitor. And then your customer analysis. This is a very important analysis because that tells you, that kind of helps you in terms of doing your financial projection. And then your target market as well as your pricing. So SWOT analysis, what are your strategy, right? What are your strengths and weaknesses, opportunity and threats? I'm not gonna go into too much detail in this because you guys should know about that, right? Be honest with yourself when you're doing this, right? Don't be shy. Weaknesses, a lot of my clients like to have very little. So be honest with yourself when you're doing that, because the more honest you are going to be, the more realistic your plan going to be. Environmental analysis, which talk about macroeconomic, right? Macro environment, you know, what are the social force that is affecting your business? It could be social and cultural, right? Depending what kind of product you're offering. Economic environment, it could be something that maybe discretionary income that your household had, you know, how economic changes. As you know, right now a lot of people have more money in their pocket, right? So now if you're selling product that have perceived value, that kind of helps in terms of that. Think about that compared to when we were in 2008, everybody have the pocket kind of tight because we don't have that much money to spend extra because of the economic downturn. So kind of take into consideration of that. Political and legal environment. Think about, one thing I can think about my client is that for those who import product from Philippines, what's happening in the Philippines? The president is not depending on his mood, right? So since you guys are doing this international aspect of it, think of the country that you are going to be involving and what are the political climate that is over there, and you need to take into consideration of that when you're doing this analysis. Definitely technological environment, if you're doing something with apps or technology items. Environmental issue. Any question on this? Okay.
Well, I have a question. So if you're thinking about your capstone and how you're going to do your research, right? And if you're pressed for time, you're absolutely looking for more secondary research to actually look at.
Okay.
Guam is much different than the mainland, which is just so what are better resources or better ways to try and tackle how do I make this fit this environment when it's much different than?
Okay, so maybe giving you some resources that can help you to conduct that research. If you're doing something relating to tourists, be creative. Guam Visitor Bureau, they have a website with information. Guam Hotel and Association, they have their statistic online as well. Census.gov. They have industry information on there. It might not specifically to Guam, but it kind of helps you form your basis for your industry that you're going to be in, right? Bureaus of Statistics at Department of Labor, they have numbers on there. They talk about our current employment statistic and the median income. If you're looking at population, census.gov, they have different populations for Guam actually. It's a little bit older, but it's still something that you can base yourself on.
Some of the banks have studies?
Yes, First Time Bank do have the economic study every year, so you can look into that as well. Okay, there's other resources that is out there that you can look for. If you're looking in terms of real estate transaction, different things, you can contact me. I can give you more specific resources that can help you guys to get the project done. Okay?
I mean, don't forget your the specific groups, like the construction group, right? Chamber of Commerce may have some information.
They have.
GHRA, for example. You know, just to name a couple that might be able to give you.
Yeah,
it's very industry specific.
Yeah, there's also like an import-export report, and if you need those information, just let me know. I have access to those information. One thing I do have also, depending on the industry you're in, we have access to a third-party vendor that kind of helps you out but that's for later on for financial planning. Okay?
So also too, even if your industry, if there isn't specific industry-related information here on Guam, you may want to take and compare to a similar sized market, relatively similar sized market elsewhere. you know, maybe one of the smaller states in the United States, or even Hawaii. I mean, granted, it's much bigger than us, but
Similar kinds of things.
right.
I don't know if this might help. This coming from training with the SBA too. They have what's called the census track on SBA.gov. It actually lets you input and find out if you're looking for similar market size. That might be a way to identify those information from there. Okay. So competitor analysis, right? Now we're looking at who are your competitor within the same area. So we kind of look at your direct competitor and your indirect competitor, even your future competitor. As I can tell you, there's helping so many business. I see people want to do business plan for this. 2 weeks later, I see somebody else wanted to do the same thing. So if you have the idea and you're considering the competitor, think about all those barrier to entry and all those stuff, because just because you do it now, it doesn't mean there's somebody else going to do the same thing later on. So consider that as well as when you're looking at competitor. What is their market position and market share? What are the strengths and weaknesses, and what are the competitive advantage, right? Being able to identify that competitive advantage is helps you so you can find your own competitive advantage. As I said before, people, when you want your customer to come to you, you have to give them something. So what is that something that you are going to offer and your competitor is not doing? So you need to be aware that is very important. The next thing is, what is the best way for you to compete with them? So kind of go through the analysis, and the competitive analysis is kind of give you an idea what your unique selling position going to be, what kind of differentiation that you can separate yourself from your competitor. Okay. Now going down to customer analysis, pretty much it's gender, thinking about age group, income range, lifestyle. Not gonna go through too much on this. Kind of go through, review that with, on your own. I'm gonna pass through this slide, okay? So the next thing is your pricing strategy. How are you gonna be pricing your product? At the end of the day, be very careful with this. As much as I hate to see it, I have seen business who price at a loss, okay? So your marketing plan is really important to help you price it at the right place. So there's different kind of pricing. There's customary pricing, which is pretty much standard level. Your competitor probably price it around the same price. You don't want to, sabotage the industry. So you kind of is within the range of your competitor. Scheme pricing, you set up your price higher at the beginning, so you can capture those people, the new customer coming in, but eventually you're gonna lower the price from there. Penetration pricing, set your price really low, get yourself out there, get your brand awareness out there to capture the customers. Fixed pricing, pretty much your pricing is set by manufacturer. Can anybody think of example of fixed pricing? Service. Another one? Product that I'm happy to see, other than Dr. Colfax, nobody else is using. Oh, 2, 3. Apple. If you notice, their pricing is pretty much fixed, right? No matter where you go, it's around the same price. Okay. So something to be aware of when you're fixing price, when you're doing your pricing, definitely you need to know your ceiling, right? You need to know the cost of your product. That will set your floor. The ceiling is pretty much set by your market demand, right? Your customer demand and what's the market you're in. Unless you are offering something else different, offer something else extra. Think about BMW, just a car. Why are they much higher pricing than everybody else? So if you're gonna sell a perceived value, you need to be able to sell that additional feature, the benefit, and the image from there. Okay. So once you set your pricing, then you kind of have to think about your marketing strategy, because now the marketing strategy is what you're going to do to help you achieve your objective and goals. So within setting up your marketing strategy, you kind of look at your target market, right? You're going to discuss each strategy. How are you going to approach each of the different market differently? Because you are not going to set the same strategy for every market that you're entering. Think about the 4P when you're doing that. Your product, pricing, place, and promotion. And then identify things, which is the brand name, product line, and different things that goes along with the advertising issue, okay? So any question on this? Okay. So once you
Sorry, on that one, should they also look at aggressive versus conservative marketing strategies?
So when you're looking at your marketing strategy, right, that all relies back on your objectives and goal. Are you going for aggressive growth strategy, or are you going for something just maintaining your market share? And your marketing strategy should reflect the same thing. Okay, so it kind of aligned the two, going back also the mission statement. If you are promoting mission that you're going to be green within your environment, make sure your marketing strategy reflect that. So everything should kind of align with each other. Okay. So developing some of the creative strategy would be developing your marketing material. A creative plan could be as little as 3 sentences, right? So now we're talking about maybe your slogan, somebody to remember you with. So look at all of this, right? It's very simple. When you said, "We love to see you smile," we know it's McDonald's, right? Can somebody give me a sample for the local businesses that we have? Okay, which business is that? Yeah, see, right? Think about the People's Bank. Who are the People's Bank? Who is the People's Bank? Bank of Guam, right? So if you have that slogan, if you don't even mention the name, they will remember you. The People's Bank, Bank of Guam. So I love Guam. What is the slogan for that? With their product, I love Guam. The T-shirt. There you go. See? So if you have a catchy slogan, people will remember your brand from there. And the next time when they need to buy a shirt, if they need to go to open a savings account, that's how they remember you with. Okay?
But that slogan shouldn't be super long.
Yeah, it should be short.
It should be very short, catchy, right?
Mm-hmm. So did you guys know Guam Regional Medical Center have their own too, where patients are partners? It's always short, simple, and catchy.
I had to know that. Yes, I knew that.
Anybody work at Guam Auto Spot? No? There's this new way of buying used car. You heard of that, right? Yeah. So now since we talk about slogan, once you get a slogan that you have that fit your business and make people remember you, there's different marketing medium that you can go through to advertise your business. Okay, I'm not going to go through that because you should know what are the most popular one. I do want to ask a question. Which dealership have started a new trend in terms of marketing? What did they develop? YouTube commercial, Hulu, right? Netflix. All of a sudden, everybody see them everywhere, right? So think about those new strategy. And some of you guys might not aware, I do have a 8-year-old son. he liked to watch Hulu. So every time he watches Hulu, he said, "Mom, can we go buy a car at Guam Auto Spot?" For what? When they have that promo for the Skyboard, it's like, "Mom, can we go to Guam Auto Spot?" For what? To get the Skyboard when you buy a car. So it make a lasting impression, right? Even with children. And his classmate, actually a girl, saw the Miss Guam was advertising with them. They actually telling everybody to go buy car at Guam Auto Spot. So that's very impressive. You know, it might not as much as you think, it actually impact a lot of people's life. Okay, so now you know that what marketing medium you're gonna use, maybe using Hulu or using Netflix. Now you're gonna have to develop your marketing budget, right? I know if you're in the marketing field, this budget thinking, you know, they like to go overboard, but you still have to be realistic with what you can spend, right? So your marketing budget should kind of help you come into term as to what you can do and kind of revise it from there. I wouldn't think that cost effective is a good word to describe. When you see the number, when you see what you can do, be creative.
Now, as you're setting that market budget, you also have to remember, you're not doing it only once. It's going to be across how long?
It should be every year for the next 12 months, depending how you guys like to plan for your business, right? Should be for the next 12 months. Every 12 months, you should go back and look at it and see what's working and what's not working and kind of address it from there.
So
it should be ongoing.
So as you do your year 1, your year 2, your year 3, and we're going out to year 5, guys, okay? Projections, you need to build this in there. Is it going to stay the same? Is it going to change? Is it going to increase or decrease? It will depend on your
marketing objective and your goal. Okay, so this is the next part, right? So once you come into your budget and you need to plan the next 12 months, right? Your marketing activity, your calendar is gonna allow you to kind of keep track of what you spend and what you can do. So you want to be able to prepare that activity calendar and plan out things accordingly, right? So if you are doing, for example, maybe giving out loans, you probably wouldn't want to do something special during the time when the government is releasing tax refund, right? So you need to kind of adjust your timing from there and plan your activity around those areas you're going to hit the roadblock, right? So think about that, plan it out for 12 months, which is a good month for you to do promo. Look at your competitor, are they doing promo at the same time? If they are, maybe you should do the same thing. So you kind of plan it out from there. So as I said, right, once you get that 12 months activity going and you look at your competitor, keeping tab of what they do as well, you kind of go back and see whether your marketing plan is effective, right? Are you selling to your target market? You happen to be, you're targeting on a certain group, but you're selling to a different group. So your marketing strategy might not be effective. So now you're gonna have to go back to look at the market medium that you're using. Are you using the right medium to reach the customer that you wanna reach? Would you be advertising on the newspaper to sell to your customer group that is under the age of 25? They don't look at newspaper, right? So you kind of go back and see what's effective and not working and adjust it from there. At the end of the day, as Dr. Koufax mentioned, you need to be constantly reviewing that. It should be on a regular basis. That also goes into your business plan as well. Your business plan is not a fixed document. It's going to change according to what you're planning for the next 1 year, 3 years, and 5 years. Okay?